When Sarah's perfect life shatters, her only chance at survival is a clone designed to replace her after death. But after a miracle recovery, her replacement becomes a ruthless rival willing to kill to keep it all. The story kicks off with a woman named Sarah chatting with her husband Peter on a video call. Sarah and Peter have been married for 5 years now, and she has grown used to him being away for long stretches of time because of his job as an engineer. During the call, Sarah mentions that she is not feeling well at all and plans to head to the hospital the next day since her condition is pretty unstable. She asks Peter to come back home and stay by her side through this, but he flat out tells her that he cannot just walk away from his work for her. It is clear that Peter is totally checked out and does not care about Sarah anymore. He uses work as a convenient excuse to stay far away because he is tired of her constant complaining. Sarah ends the call and goes to sleep so she can make it to the hospital in the morning. While she is out, she has this bizarre dream where she is eating a massive amount of coins, and she wakes up in a panic, finding her bed soaked in blood. Seeing that the sun is up, she gets dressed and rushes to the hospital. She goes through a series of scans and tests, and then heads home to wait for the results later that night. She calls Peter to check in like they always do after his shift, but he dodges the call and sends a text saying he just got back and is crashing immediately. It is obvious he is avoiding her the next day. Sarah hits the gym to get some exercise in, and once she is finished, she heads back home right then. Peter calls her with some heavy news. The hospital sent him a message saying she has been diagnosed with a terminal illness in its final stages. Sarah is completely blindsided, especially since she felt like her health was finally turning a corner over the last couple of days. Peter suggests she go back for more tests, so she meets with her doctor, who confirms the grim reality. She tells Sarah that she has very little time left, and the mortality rate for this disease is over 98%, leaving her with almost zero hope. The doctor advises her to say her goodbyes, and then brings up the replacement program. She explains that this procedure allows a person to clone themselves, creating an exact double who will step in and live out Sarah's life once she is gone. The whole point of this cloning process is to spare the family the pain of losing a loved one. The doctor mentions she will need to consult with her family before moving forward and hands her an informational booklet. Sarah goes home and starts digging into the replacement process online. She finds a video explaining that the new version is identical in every way, sharing the same tastes and habits as the original. Sarah gets excited about the idea and decides to go through with it the next day. She arrives at the facility feeling incredibly nervous because she expects the procedure to be intense, but the doctor reassures her that it takes less than an hour. He takes a DNA sample and then steps away for a bit. An hour later, the doctor returns with a new version of Sarah. Although he mentions they made a small mistake and gave her blue eyes, Sarah thanks him and takes her double home. On the way, she starts catching her clone up on her personal life, her likes, and her relationships with Peter and her mother. The clone seems genuinely pumped about everything, and Sarah even buys her a whole new wardrobe and bags. A few days later, Peter returns from his trip and meets the new Sarah. He is immediately impressed and even thinks she is a better version than the original. He secretly hopes the real Sarah passes away sooner because he has completely fallen out of love with her. He asks the clone out to dinner in the city, and she agrees, which really hurts Sarah because she truly loves him and wanted his support during this time. But she just goes to bed. Months pass, and Sarah goes back to the hospital for a checkup, only to be told by the doctor that she is actually going to live. She miraculously recovered, and the doctors cannot even explain how it happened. Sarah is overjoyed, but she immediately asks how she can get rid of her clone. The doctor tells her it is too late to just deactivate her because the company has a strict deadline for that, which is already passed. She suggests Sarah get a lawyer to sue the company. So Sarah heads to a law office, but the lawyer tells her his hands are tied. The only legal way to settle this is a duel to the death. The winner gets to keep Sarah's life. Sarah is forced into this fight against her own double, knowing that if she backs out, she will be the one executed while the clone takes over her life. The lawyer suggests she hire a personal trainer to get ready for the fight. Sarah agrees and finds a trainer, then heads to her mother's house to share the good news about her recovery. When she gets there, she is stunned to find her clone already hanging out with her mom. Sarah is furious since she had not even told her mom about the clone or her illness yet. The clone reveals she has been calling the mom this whole time to check in, and it turns out the mom actually likes the new version better than Sarah. She kicks Sarah out of the house, and Peter follows her out, telling her to stay away because they are much happier without her. Sarah is devastated by their betrayal and becomes more determined than ever to win the duel. She goes home to meet her trainer, who quickly realizes she is pretty terrible at fighting. He gives her a bunch of violent movies to watch, hoping they will spark some genuine hatred for her clone. The next day, the trainer returns and walks her through the rules of the duel, explaining that there will be a table with 5 weapons, and what each one is for. He gives her more violent films to fuel her rage, and after a while, Sarah finally finds her edge. She is ready to take her double out as the duel approaches. Sarah's finances take a hit, and she runs out of money to pay the trainer. She suggests teaching him how to dance in exchange for the lessons, and he agrees. The next day, she goes to the mall to buy her outfit for the fight, using the very last of her cash. She has no other income, because the clone has already taken over her job too. After shopping, she meets Peter at a restaurant to talk about the duel. Sarah tells him she is going to kill the clone and get her life back. Peter apologizes for kicking her out, but then tells her the clone is also ready for the fight. He starts complaining about the double, saying she argues over everything and nitpicks the little things, just like Sarah used to do, which has made him hate her, just as much as he hated the original Sarah. After their meeting, Sarah goes home for more training and finds her instructor there with his old dog. He hands her a bow and arrow and tells her to kill the dog as her final test. She has finished her training and needs to prove she can follow through with what she learned, but Sarah cannot bring herself to do it and refuses. The trainer loses his cool and tells her that if she cannot kill the dog, she will never be able to kill her clone. Right then, Sarah notices someone watching them through the window and realizes it is her double. She aims an arrow at her, but the clone takes off running, and Sarah accidentally hits a stray dog in the street instead. She feels terrible about the dog, but keeps chasing her clone until she reaches a park on the edge of town. She loses sight of her, but encounters 2 little kids who tell her the clone is hiding in a wooden playhouse. Sarah goes inside to confront her, and they talk about the duel. The clone admits she knows Sarah hates her and was just trying to shoot her. She apologizes for trying to steal her life and confesses that Peter is actually a total bore who fights all the time, and she is over the mom's constant hovering. She says she is not even sure she wants this life anymore, but she does not want to kill Sarah either. Sarah starts to feel for her and says she does not want to kill her either, but she needs her life back. The clone proposes a plan for them both to run away before the duel starts, so they can both live and no one has to die. Sarah agrees to the plan, and they head home. On the morning of the duel, Sarah and her clone meet up and head into the woods to make their escape. When they get deep into the forest, Sarah mentions she is thirsty, and the clone hands her a bottle of water. Sarah thanks her and feels guilty for ever wanting to kill such a kind person. They keep moving to find a place to hide until the duel time passes. But suddenly, Sarah stops, clutching her stomach in pain. It turns out the water was poisoned. Sarah is devastated that she trusted her double and let her guard down, while the clone had been planning her murder all along. After Sarah dies, the clone heads to the dueling grounds and tells the official that she is the original Sarah. She claims the duel is off because the clone is nowhere to be found. The official is suspicious, and a legal case is launched. During the trial, Peter stands by the clone, telling the judge that she is the real Sarah. The mother also testifies that this is her daughter. The judge rules in favor of the clone, who officially takes over Sarah's identity and legally seizes all of her possessions, leaving the original Sarah forgotten in the woods. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you never miss a new video, and I will see you next time. Take care.